Hello,
hey folks, it's Wayne here, and we're outside of the largest organic poultry producer in the nation, where we found animals collapsed on the ground, unable to walk. They're dying of starvation and dehydration. We're here today to show the public we're not going to accept this, and that we have the right to give these animals food and water. The big thing that we're doing differently today is we're actually going to go inside of a factory farm and try and construct an animal care station. We're going to construct an emergency animal care station inside of a factory farm. We're going to bring the care and compassion right inside the factory farm. The cops, security guards are probably going to try and stop us, but we want to take all these animals out, give them the care they deserve, take them home, the sanctuary. Every single one of the 125,000 animals who are inside this facility.
Yeah, and one thing to note is that we are bringing compassion into some of the most violent places on earth. We are turning this place, which is a place of violence, a place of misery, a place of suffering, into a place of peace and compassion.
You want to turn around? I'll just show people some pictures.
Holding down their mic button.
So we've got pictures from inside this farm. Whistleblowers have sent us birds. This bird is still alive. She's so sick from the disease-filled conditions inside the facility, she couldn't stand. Her eyes are closed. She's been trampled to death. This is a dead bird. We've found dead and rotting birds inside this facility. So our goal today, again, is to expose this cruelty to the public and transform this violent place into a peaceful place, a place filled with compassion. Imagine an entire factory farm turned into a sanctuary, piece by piece, brick by brick. That's what we're going to try and do. We're going to build an animal care tent. We've got our animal caretakers behind us. They've got all the gear. They've got a tent. We're going to be building that tent together. We need you there. Please, please make this phone call, because in the past, the authorities have arrested us. They threatened us for doing this. We believe we have the right to do this. We have a legal opinion right here supporting our right to rescue the animals. So we need your help too. So please make that phone call immediately. We're going to start walking. All right, folks, are you all ready to walk? Yes. Let's go.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We are live in Petaluma, and if you haven't already, please make that phone call. We're counting on all of you to keep the animals safe. We're counting on all of you to keep the activists safe. And today, we're here to provide medical care, urgent medical care to these birds who are at this farm, at the largest organic poultry producer in the world. Folks, the New York Times has covered this and said that this is a humane, quote-unquote, humane farm. This is a famous farm. It's known for being, quote-unquote, humane. But we know, because we have been inside of this facility, our investigators have documented some of the most horrific things, some of the most horrific scenes, some things that you would not even want your worst enemy to experience. We've seen birds that are so crowded that they can barely move. Imagine.
Can I say something real quick before we walk in? So we're on a road, folks, and we're about to walk in. But this is the largest organic poultry supplier in the entire nation. It is owned by Purdue Farms. They supply to Amazon, and Amazon is trying to take over the world. They are trying to take over the food industry, and they're taking over cruelty and deception. And they're not telling people the truth about what happens inside. So our goal here is not only to transform this place into an animal care station, transform a place where animals are being tortured, into a place where animals are given the care and love they deserve. Our goal is to show the public the truth of what they're buying. Because when people see what's happening inside these horrendous factory farms, when they realize, when they shop at Whole Foods and Amazon, and it says free range, organic, and humane, it doesn't mean anything, they will change. And by changing them, we can change the entire world. But we've gone through extensive negotiations with Sonoma County about this. The reason we have to take this action today is because we've made every single effort we possibly could, contacting the authorities about the criminal animal cruelty outside. You see a dead turkey right there. We've made every effort we possibly could to get the authorities to take action about the criminal animal cruelty that's happening inside this facility. They've taken no action. They refuse to do anything. And again, we have a legal opinion from a criminal law scholar indicating that we have this right. We have the right to take these animals out, give them food and water when they're suffering and dying. Okay. And you can see we have, you know, a ton of activists, a huge horde of activists here prepared to put compassion into action. And we're going to show the world today the power of compassion to transform a violent landscape, a dreary, feces-filled violent landscape, into a place where animals are treated with decency and love. We're actually about to pass by a massive chicken. So there's a huge chicken statue outside the front of this facility. We're about to walk by it, and then we're going to walk into the farm. All right, so folks, we're about to turn left. We're seeing a lot of people staring at us.
We are about to go inside of this farm, and if you haven't already, please, please, please click the share button. If you don't share, we don't have a way, we don't have an advertising budget like Amazon does to put out, you know, mass alerts. So we need you to be our marketers. We need you to share this live stream, ask consumers, ask people in your friends and family, your networks, to see what's happening behind the closed doors. We're about to walk inside. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if there's police present. We don't know if there's security. Last time we were doing something like this, not only did the police show up, but the security and the farm employees were extremely violent. And as violent as they are, we're going to be just as compassionate and show that much more love, because we are here to do only one thing: to provide aid to the animals that are inside of these facilities that have no other option. If we weren't here to help them, they would not be able to get the treatment that they deserve, the medical care that they deserve.
So you can see the dilapidated sheds ahead of us. There's some lambs over here to the left. There apparently is a, what is that? An alpaca maybe? So they have some other animals here, but these are some filthy, worn down sheds. We're about to walk by all of them and start getting our animal care station set up. But yeah, for the first time, you know, we're bringing the care to the animals, not taking the animals out to the care, but bringing the care directly to the animals.
Wait, how many animals are present at this farm right now?
The 125,000 animals at this farm. You can see how much garbage there is.
No food or water.
These are rundown shelters. Petaluma Poultry likes to describe itself as an extremely humane place. And in fact, we know that this is a facility where the New York Times has revealed it. It's incredibly humane. But when we pass by these barns and see with our own eyes what's happening inside, you'll see the truth of what these barns actually look like, which is dilapidated, rundown sheds where animals, it says organic here, where animals are suffering in horrible ways.
Folks, we are here not because we believe in breaking the law. We're here because we believe we have the legal right to rescue animals. We have the legal right to provide animals who are injured, who are sick, the right to get the medical care that they deserve. So folks, over here, we have an employee who's extremely upset.
Yeah, I understand your anger, but we've contacted the sheriff ourselves, ma'am. Well, I'm going to give you this, ma'am. It's private property, but when you're...
Do not access our property. Yeah, goodbye.
I understand that.
Bye.
Ma'am.
Wayne, do you want me to go?
On this, when there's criminal and cruelty happening, we do have a right under
We've been in business for 50 years.
Yeah, and I've been a lawyer for 20 years, and I know the law of the state.
Folks, we have an employee who's literally stopping us from going inside this farm. So I'm running because I want to make sure that I get inside to document some of these conditions and show you what's happening, show you our animal rescuers rescuing these animals. We have at least 150 people here today, and they're going to be providing care to some of these birds who are sick, who are injured. These birds are forced to be about 4 times, maybe 8 times the size of their body weight. They're so heavy that they can't even stand. If they can't even stand and there's 10,000 people inside of each barn, how in the world can they possibly access food or water? So we have an employee here who's extreme. Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! We have an employee here who's extremely aggressive. She's driving around her little cart and determined to stop us, but that's not going to stop us. Anna, what's going on right now?
We're seeing birds that have no feathers on their bodies. They're outside of their cages. They can't access food or water. Those birds will starve to death if they don't get access to food and water. We are here to give them care that they legally deserve.
So folks, we're a little bit out of breath because we have employees who are being extremely violent. Everybody, please remember we're here with compassion in our heart, even for this woman who does not want us to be here.
Get out of here, you freaks! You're not going past my gate. Get them here quick. They're going in our barns. Please get them here. This is bullshit. These people are idiots.
Hey ma'am, I'm gonna have you
I
talk.
don't care.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. We've been in business for 50 years, so fuck you.
Yeah, we're not here to hurt you. We're not here to.
No, you're here
we're
to
simply.
ruin our business.
No, we're not.
Hello?
I'm so.
My name is canceled. They're filming me and everything. I don't care if I'm on TV.
1 and 2.
I don't
Red teams
want
1 and 2. Can you come with me? Actually, red teams 1 and 2. Come with me.
Folks, folks, we're trying to get our teams ready to go inside, including myself. I want to go inside. I want to show you. I want you to join me inside of this farm. So I'm going to have Almira hold this live stream. Almira, I have to get ready to go inside of the farm the other way.
So I'm here with over 150 activists. We are getting ready to go inside, and we have documented criminal animal cruelty inside of this facility. Priya is going to be taking you inside so you can see. Priya's getting ready. We take biosecurity here very seriously. We don't want to endanger anybody. We don't want to endanger the animals at all. So Priya, what are you feeling right now?
Well, I'm feeling a lot of anxiety, mostly because I want to make sure that these animals that we know are sick and injured. We know that they're suffering. We know that there's so much flooding here that if it wasn't for us being over here, some of these birds would never see the light of day.
Priya doesn't need it. So just get your gear on.
I'll take it, get it off.
Yeah, we're not here to hurt you.
Stop,
Please.
Oh, this is assault. You're assaulting my property. Get the fuck off.
Ma'am, please. We have a
No, I don't care.
Can I talk to you?
No, Alex, help me.
Do you know about California Penal Code Section 597?
Alex! Anthony, come here. There's no more bodies.
Hey there, sir. How are you? My name's Wayne. Can I talk to you? Okay. This is a legal opinion from a criminal law scholar, Hadar Abraham. Okay. Ma'am, under 597E of the California Penal Code, there is criminal animal cruelty happening. You don't care about the fires having committed inside the farm. There aren't dead, dying animals inside the facility.
No, there's not, you stupid ass.
Are you guys entering our property?
Do you know who Hadar Abraham is?
Are you aware that sheriffs are coming?
We are saying we're trying to do contact them as well. Because there's criminal animal cruelty happening inside this facility. And again, we have nothing but love in our hearts for the animals and for you.
We have nothing but love for the hearts for them too.
Okay, so there are animals collapse at the ascites, animals with lameness, spots on the ground starving to death, dying of dehydration.
We're not starving, we're feeding them.
Ma'am, sir, I'm sorry. Here's some photographs of whistleblower sent us from inside your farm. These are animals that were found inside your farm. This is a live animal. He's on the ground. This is another animal who's decomposing inside the farm. And again, we have nothing but compassion in our hearts for you as well. I'd love to talk to you about this and work through these findings. When you have animals in situations like this,
They die of natural diseases.
You're not taking my chickens. You're not taking my chickens. Just forget it.
All right, everyone, I'm ready to go inside of the farm. I have my biosecurity gear on. We have employees who are extremely upset, and you know what? In the system where they believe that these animals are their property, I can see why they think that they're extremely upset, because they consider animals their property. But we're not going to let them stop us. Hey folks, how are we doing here? This is, what team are you?
Team 5.
Team 5. Okay, let's go inside. I'm gonna follow the team leader. Do we have our headlamps on? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. This is the reality of a free-range facility. This is the reality of a free-range facility. If you don't see what's happening here, there are over 10,000 birds inside of this barn. 10,000 birds. Rachel, what are we seeing here?
Just thousands of birds just crammed together, and you can see, some of them are covered in poop, some of them are missing feathers. You can see one laying down on the floor there, most likely injured.
So Rachel, what does it mean when these birds are lying down like this?
It means that they probably have a leg injury because they become so weak that they can't even stand up.
And Rachel, a lot of the times we're gonna see these birds peeping. You hear so many of them peeping. They're crying for their mothers. Rachel, can you point your camera up on your light up? Yes, I want to be able to see your face. So, folks, the reason why this poor little girl, can you actually turn it off, Rachel? The reason why, one more time. The reason why this poor little girl was on the ground is because these birds, this is a breed called Cornish hens, and these birds are basically forced to grow an unnatural size that is completely unnatural to them, and oftentimes they can't even stand. Rachel, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, what happens is they grow so fast. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Is it off now?
No. That's okay, let's put it on red. That's good.
What happens is they grow so fast because the industry doesn't want to spend the money to have them grow.
Walk with me.
At a natural, they want them to grow so fast And it's you know, they grow them within like 60 days whenever normally, you know, it would take them so much longer than that. And because of that, their bodies give out, their muscles aren't strong enough to support them, and they become so weak, and they get arthritis, and they can't even stand up to try to get to the food or to the water.
Okay, we have another bird over here. How did you... Whoa, this bird is on the verge of death, folks. She's one of the small birds that is so sick, so injured, because look around us. This is hell on earth. These birds over here do not get to access food or water, and she's probably one of them. You know what happens when you're small and you can't access food or water? You usually get trampled on, and if you're lucky and you don't get trampled to death, you probably will starve to death. So let's see her a little bit more. So let's get her the medical care that she needs. We're going to be setting up a tent outside. These animals are going to receive the help that they need. So Sanjeev, let's take her to where she needs to be. Diana, do you have anything to say here?
Yes, this bird has a broken leg.
She has a broken leg? She's really tiny, isn't she?
Yes, very tiny. I think she's probably a run. She's got something wrong with her. I don't think she'll last very long. She's so sweet.
Folks, the reason that we're here today is because we believe that it is our legal right to provide aid, to provide medical care to these birds who have nobody else. This barn, I'm surrounded by 10,000 chickens in one barn. And this company talks about how they care about raising animals humanely. Amazon is who they supply to. Petaluma Poultry is the largest organic poultry producer in the world. They supply to Amazon, and Amazon says that they're committed to conducting their business in a lawful and ethical manner. And I want you to ask yourself, is this over here lawful? Is this ethical? Birds who can't stand, birds who are basically on the verge of death, some birds that are just dying, and you know, it's absolutely horrific that these birds are forced to fend for themselves. When these poor babies are young, they're supposed to be with their moms. They're supposed to find, they're supposed to find comfort. They're not supposed to be in these unnatural conditions. And if you haven't already, please click the share button. Tell people, use the hashtag Amazon Mass Rescue, and show people what is the reality behind companies like Whole Foods and Amazon. DXC has investigated so many of Whole Foods farms, so many of Amazon's farms. We've tried to talk to these companies. We've even tried to talk to the Sonoma County Police Department. We've shown them our findings, but guess what? Time and time again, we see that they refuse to take action. So we're not here because we believe that it's our legal right to disrupt the system, to break the law. We're actually here to uphold the law. In California, every single individual has the right to enter these facilities if they know that criminal animal abuse is taking place. We have the right to help these animals, give them urgent medical care if we know that they're being forced to fend for themselves, if they don't have access to food or water. And as you can tell, folks, all of these girls, 10,000 animals. If there was 10,000 humans in this barn, there's no way that we would not be fighting each other. There's no way that we wouldn't be trampling on each other. There's just no way. And that's exactly what these poor birds are forced to do for themselves. Colleen, who do you have here? Can you speak louder? Colleen, how many birds do you think are in here? There's tens of thousands, right? Do you think there's any way that all of these birds have access to food or water? Folks, the air quality in the barn is so bad that all of us over here are coughing. And imagine having to live your entire life like this. Imagine having to live your entire life basically trapped inside of a facility like this, basically unable to access food or water. If you're unable to stand, you're probably going to get trampled to death. And I'm going to go outside because I want to show you the medical triage unit that our animal care team has set up. And what we're doing with this medical care unit is we're providing these birds the urgent medical care that they need. And people can say, you know, the employees of this farm, they're going to say that that's illegal, that that's unacceptable. And what we're here to say is that we are practicing our legal right to go inside of this facility and give animals the urgent care that they need.
Whatever it is. To have so many animals in one shed.
So many square footage.
Yeah.
Why is it not right to raise them? People need food.
Because every single chicken probably, I mean, and again, it's not me, ecologists and people studying animal husbandry have said this. Every chicken needs probably around 40 square feet of space to live in.
All right, we have a team coming out over here, and we're gonna follow them as they go walk these birds to the medical triage unit that we've set up. Rachel, where are we going now?
We're going to medical tent where she can get some medical care. The medical care that she's always deserved but would have never gotten if she was stuck in the shed. Because none of these animals ever get to have any kind of medical treatment because it's not profitable to the industry if she were to get that, if any of them were to get that. So these birds are worth just a couple of dollars to the industry, and their lives are worth so much more to them.
So we are walking to our medical triage unit, and what we're here to do is to provide these birds the urgent medical attention that they need. We do have police on site, but we're going to continue taking animals to this urgent care facility that we have set up. And as you can see, it says urgent animal care. Lewis, can I enter this? Do I need to remove? Okay.
Sharon, can you
Get this on live stream.
Excuse me.
yeah, you can enter. There's a police officer that's
All right, Alicia and Rachel are setting up our animal caretakers. Alicia, can you tell me what's going on over here?
She's very thirsty. I'd like to give her fluids. I'm a little nervous.
I'm gonna.
Officer said he's gonna be ripping animals, you know, and throwing.
Can you show?
Activists. Her leg is broken, so she's very small. What? Yes. Her leg is broken.
Okay, I think.
Yeah, can you come over here?
Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna.
I understand you're not going to arrest us. What I'm saying to you is we have a legal right to be here, and we're asking you to please assist us in taking the sick and starving animals out of the facility.
We'll try to do everything that we can to address everybody's concerns. We're not taking sides with anyone, but right now I do need everyone just to come right over here, hang out until we can get it figured out, okay?
So what should we do about our statutory right? I'm going to show you the
We're going to
statute.
get someone out here to talk to you guys about that. Right now, you're on someone else's property, I need you to go over here.
Yeah, it's not their property for review land. Under 597, we actually have the right
Can you
to.
help me to do that? And then I'll have you talk to one of our sergeants or someone, you guys can have a long conversation.
Can I give you our legal opinion?
Not right now. Let's just get everyone together so that they're not taking other people's property and putting it into arrest.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, if you can help
So
me
you
with that,
understand, your concern is you think there may be law-breaking activity happening
Until
here?
we can find out
and I'm
what's
saying that there isn't law-breaking activity happening here, except for the animal
And I'm
control.
sure you're familiar with law enforcement. Our job is to find out if that's what's happening. So until that happens, let's get everyone together. We'll have a supervisor come talk to you about your rights, and then we'll find out from there, okay?
Okay, can we guarantee there's going to be an inspection done of these facilities?
I can't
to
guarantee
see if they're starving animals?
I can't guarantee you people are going to start getting handcuffed and put in the supervision.
That's fine too. I mean, we're happy to do
I'd
that.
rather that not happen. So can you stop the for me, please?
Okay, so
No.
these are the photos
Work
from
on
the
your people, please, and have them come over this way.
Okay. These are the photos from the service. Yeah. We have contact with everything.
Can you let them know that someone in the white really is threatening to bring them over, so if they want to try to get out of this way and safe,
Sure.
so they don't get hit by a car.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Folks, if you're watching this live stream, the police are present. We need you to call the Petaluma Police Department and ask them to support animal rescuers, not the animal abusers.
Request, but we have to stay with these folks until they're done, and then we'll disassemble this tent. We'll consider your request. I appreciate you guys are doing your job. I understand you can't take sides. This is on a certain situation. Okay. But let me just show you some of the dead animals we found inside. Can I show you guys? Okay.
Please help us help the animals, please.
Okay. I understand that.
More resources coming.
Okay.
We have a helicopter, so we can have a drone land also.
Okay.
We appreciate that because FAA regulations say that law enforcement and public emergency helicopters, they have the airspace. So personal drones.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that. I'll call someone and tell them to land the drone. I will definitely do that. And again, we're exercising our legal rights here. We're not here to get into a fight with anybody. It's not a conflict. I have compassion for these farmers, but those animals are dead. You know, there's no question about that.
And I totally get, and I appreciate your stance.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, we have a job to do.
Of course. Yeah, I understand that. My uncle's a cop, so I understand.
And look, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
We each have our own things to do.
I understand.
Okay. But we do have more resources coming.
Okay.
And eventually, you folks are going to be leaving.
Okay.
Whether that's on a bus to jail or that's voluntarily.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand that. So let's wait for these folks. These, I mean, you can see the lady is giving the animals
Can you tell the drone operator?
Yes, I'll call them right away.
The helicopter.
Yeah, I'll call them right away.
Wayne, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to document some of the...
So let me make a phone call for this officer. What's your name, officer?
Can I please come inside of this tent here? I'm going to open up this tent. We're going to go inside. We're going to show you the urgent animal care facility that we've set up. And folks, this is a first time groundbreaking action that we've ever taken. Not only are we providing these animals care, but we're doing it at a place of violence. We're literally transforming this place of violence into a place of peace and compassion. And we're not here to hurt the employees. We're not here to hate the employees, the police officers. We have love for every single person. We're just here to provide urgent care to these animals. So let me take you inside.
Thank you.
Hey, so we need to take the drone down.
Sanjeev, I'm going to give them a pill to just hold them still.
Alicia, can you describe what you're doing here?
Yeah, I'm just giving them a carprofen. It's just kind of like an ibuprofen. It's just a basic pain medication because they're in really bad shape.
And what are you seeing here? What are the types of things that you're seeing here?
I think people were talking while you were talking. I don't know what you said, but come on over.
So once we're ready, we will
You've seen a broken leg today. What else have you seen here?
Hold on.
I'll go and talk to Rachel.
Yeah.
Rachel, what kind of things are we seeing here with the hens? You're holding.
This one actually has a broken leg right now.
Okay.
There we go. Severely dehydrated, really hungry.
Okay.
Should we wait until?
Ask Wayne. Please go ask Wayne.
Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel, if you can do it.
So this poor little bird here, her leg is broken. And folks, the reason her leg is broken is because these birds are basically fed so much, are basically bred to be so overweight that they can't even stand on their own two legs. And when they can't stand, that means that other birds are going to trample on them.
We should all try and leave together.
Okay, just get with the birds and go.
Oh, she's drinking water.
In just a moment.
Okay.
She's so thirsty.
This is probably the first time she's drank water outside of a factory farm.
When you have 10,000 birds in one facility, when you have 10,000 of these birds in one barn, in this whole facility over here, we have 125,000 birds. There's no way that every single one of those birds, not even half of them, can access food or water. So this might be this girl's first or second drink. I can't imagine that she has ever had the opportunity to drink water like this before. No one has ever held her and ever said, hey, we're going to take care of you. Rachel, do you want to say it?
You gave them a pill as well?
Yeah, it's really a beautiful moment to be able to have her. This one, no one else.
Yeah, he's really thirsty.
She's so grateful that someone's doing that for her.
When your legs, he's paralyzed, he can't get from one end
survive.
of the barn
She just
to the other.
deserves so much better than this.
We have some food.
Wayne, can you give us an update? What are the police saying?
So the police are saying that we need to leave the facility. What we've told them is that we have the right to be here under California Penal Code Section 597E when there's clear evidence of animals that are suffering from dehydration. This is actually a live bird we found on the facility. Here's flaps in the ground, unable to access food and water. When they don't have access to food and water, we have the right to rescue them. And that's what we're here to do, to just show the world that we have compassion for these animals. And this is nothing against the farmers. It certainly has nothing against the officers, the individual officers here. It's everything about the love for the animals. That we have love for the animals, and we want the government to support us in showing care and love for the animals who are suffering so grievously.
And right behind Wayne, we have birds that are receiving you know, one of their first drinks in their entire life. Is that true, Wayne? Like they've
these
probably
animals
never
have never been outside of a factory farm. They're going to see freedom for the first time in their lives. We're going to see if the police officers allow us to take them out. You know, we have the right to take them to the vet. So if they trample on our rights, you know, we'll have to litigate that and fight them. But we believe every single one of these animals who's suffering in a factory farm environment, or frankly in a small family farm environment, that we have the right to rescue them and give them the care and love they deserve.
And everyone, if you haven't already, please share this live stream. And if you haven't already, please call the Petaluma Police Department. The phone number is below. Our commenting team is commenting the phone number. Please call the Petaluma Police Department. If you call, it helps all of us over here. It helps the animal, because when they see that so many people across the globe are so passionate to help animals, when they see that these people are willing to risk their freedom, willing to you know, put themselves in these conditions, go inside of these filthy facilities, they will at least see, you know, they will see what we're trying to do, and they'll try to understand our message. We actually have a helicopter above us that's documenting what's happening over here. This is a first-time action. It's a groundbreaking action where not only are we taking these animals to the medical care and assistance that they need, we're bringing that care over here. So behind me, if you're just tuning in, is a medical triage unit where we are providing birds the urgent medical care that they need, and this is at a farm, the largest organic poultry producer in the world, which supplies to Amazon. And if you don't know about Amazon, Amazon is the largest online retailer in the world. This company talks about how they are committed to ethically conducting their business, lawfully conducting their business. But these birds who have broken legs and who are trapped inside of these facilities, they don't think it's ethical. How's she doing?
She hasn't stopped dipping her head at the water.
For the last 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, and yeah, she's probably never gotten, you know, a drink of water, maybe ever. She's so thirsty. She just looks so dehydrated. And I think of two birds that I live with at home, and they have access to water all the time. They love drinking fast. They love water. And to think that, you know, that she was denied that is so sad.
Thank you, Rachel. Go ahead.
We just started giving him some exact chicken food, and he's just gobbling it up. He's really hungry. I thought if there was instruction before that,
Could show another team of Frenchie. There's also a helicopter above us.
All right, folks, we have a helicopter above us. I don't think I can show you, but I'm running to this team of animals, this team of rescuers that just walked out. They have 5 birds with them, and here they are. They're walking these birds to the medical triage unit. We have a medical triage unit set up at this farm, and these amazing, heroic activists are walking out with these birds. Does anyone want to share what you saw inside of this farm? Eva?
there's so many different. There was somebody that walked who were just limping around and walking on their wings. I mean, they wanted to get away from us. They've never had a good interaction with us. So they wanted to get away, and they just couldn't get out.
And Mary, can I see these birds that you're holding here? Okay, so these are deceased birds. Folks, look at this. The stench is horrible. This is the reality of quote-unquote organic farming. And Amazon, please ask Amazon, is this ethical? Mary, do you think this is ethical? Cassie, what are we seeing here?
We're seeing some dead birds. I mean, you can barely tell that they're birds because their bodies are so decayed and their feathers have been completely pecked off by other birds in the barn. But this is the reality of what Amazon is calling free range. These are birds, thousands of them, crammed together in sheds, starving to death, the ones who are too small or whose legs break because of how they've been.
Can you hold her higher?
And so when they collapse on the ground, we found collapsed animals who are still alive and we've taken them to medical care. But the birds who we are too late to help have already died and been left here for so long, their bodies have Rachel, I need a...
And Cassie, there's a helicopter above us, right?
Helicopter above us, and they're catching all of the action. Hopefully, everything is going to be straight out there. I encourage you to see what happened when they talking to us, and we are simply trying to transform their survival.
when animals are being criminally abused, which includes things like depriving them of food and water for 12 hours, and for birds to starve to death. That's obviously the case, and honestly, I just got a whiff of how horrible this little girl smells right now, because her body has been decaying in there since who knows how long ago, because people here are not taking the animals' well-being seriously. They're letting them die and leaving their bodies behind. So we're taking their bodies out to give them, to honor their lives. And we're also
Wait, where? Oh, mira. Right there?
So, Wayne is discussing with the police right now.
Where do we need to be? This is Priya. Where do we need to be?
That is California's law that gives us the legal right to enter our private property when we know there's criminal animal abuse happening. Take those animals to get help, to get food and water, which is all that we're doing at the medical center.
This is Wayne. Again, I repeat, please have someone else record the encounter at the front. We're going to stay together here until all the teams are out.
Over. Now because we're in a pivotal moment for deciding what's going to happen to the animals whose bodies are broken, who are severely dehydrated, who are getting the care they need right now.
If there's anything I can do
inside of the animal care tent, and we're ready and prepared to take them out, the ones who have been given water and who are ready to go, and to bring them to sanctuary into a new life.
Yeah, and Cassie, behind us are deceased birds. Some of them are, all of these birds over here were found at these facilities at the largest organic poultry producer in the world, and this is an Amazon supplier.
There are flies all over her body too right
The
now.
stench here is so horrible that honestly I don't even want to be here, but I want to show you all what we're finding over here. You can't even recognize that these are birds. They don't even look like birds. They don't look like someone who used to be alive. And this is what Amazon does to these animals. And if you can, please sign the petition. I know our commenting team is putting the petition in the comments. So please, if you haven't already, sign the petition and call Petaluma Police Department. They're already here, but we want them to know that people around the world care about these animals.
Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. This is one of the kinds of actions we take to get the issue on the table, to not just save the immediate lives in need of help here, but to work to establish the right to rescue. Because right now, it's unclear to the police whether or not we're just exercising our right to stop crime from happening, to stop animal abuse, or whether this is a trespass law that needs to be upheld. And so we need more people to show support, and we need more actions like this to challenge this law and to establish it for all animals. Because we have the right to go into a hot car, to break the car window to rescue a dog, to go into a hoarding situation when we have evidence that our neighbors are keeping animals in unfit conditions. And we should have the same exact right, it just has not yet been applied to facts and laws until these kinds of actions are getting it on the table. So please share the live stream and be a part of the history with us. And you can help by becoming a member. You can help by asking your friends and family to share this video, because people, when they're confronted with this, they care about the animals, they see the individuals, and they want them to get out. They don't want them to be stopped and thrown back into a factory farm.
Cassie, why is it important for people to become members?
Because your support is the way that we are able to buy cameras, to buy biosecurity gear, to train investigators, to do animal care, to do all the things we're doing.
Ideally a red team member. Okay, so let's make sure you get some gloves on. Cover yourself up. Can anyone give her a coat and long sleeve shirt?
Here.
Do you have a shirt
Here,
on?
I got it.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna put a long sleeve shirt on here.
So folks, if you can't hear, we have a helicopter above us. This helicopter is providing coverage. We don't know where it's going to be, but this is the first time that at a DXC action we have a helicopter flying above us. I believe it's to get footage and to share with the news what activists are doing over here today. Wayne, do you want to share anything?
Well, these animals just received some emergency medical care. You can see our urgent animal care tent. Some of them have ammonia burns on them, which is from just living in their own feces and urine.
And broken legs
some of them
too.
Have broken limbs. Some of them have been denied food and water. This bird can't even walk apparently, and is not able to access food and water. They often suffer from a disease called ascites inside these barns because the birds are growing so fast. Let's do it slowly.
Folks, we have the police standing on the sidelines, and this is one of the most powerful things. every time, even when the law enforcement sees what's happening over here, they're forced to try to do the right thing. And most people, when they're given the option of helping or hurting animals, will choose to help animals. But unfortunately, we live in a system, we live in a world where places like this are supported by the law enforcement. But we are saying no more. Not only are we getting these birds the urgent care that they need, but we're going to do it at the very facility that subjects them to unimaginable violence.
Stand back a little bit if you're not part of this assembly.
These are the individuals right now whose lives are hanging in the balance. These are the individuals, the girls who have yet to be named, but who will be, and who will reach a sanctuary and who have families on their way cared for, not just in one emergency medical visit, but for their lifetime, and who will be loved.
Can I just interrupt? I just spoke to the sergeant. They said animal control is on their way. They're going to do an inspection. You know, they're going to find things like this.
What is this? What are we seeing here?
This is a decomposing animal who was probably left to starve to death and rot to death because of the horrendous conditions inside this farm. And we have some live animals we need to get to emergency medical care. So we are going to disassemble this tent and I'll head to the front. And I'll tell the sergeant this right now, actually. Thanks, Alicia. So our vet staff is going to disassemble the tent now and just walk out, because some of these animals, I mean, some of them are obviously too far gone, but some of them do need emergency medical care, so they're going to take them to the vet.
So we would probably very honest, so let's wait for animal control to get here and see if there's some sort of compromise there.
Okay.
So be patient, please.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, some of these animals are in desperate need of like immediate care.
They should be here any minute.
Do you want us to bring one of the animals who's really sick so you can see?
Yeah, we'll walk out and then folks are going to disassemble this tent.
Cassie, what's going on here?
Thank you very much,
Right now we're disassembling the tent. We've been able to give emergency aid to a few different animals who will now be headed out with us, as well as the animals who have already died, who we plan to give a proper burial to, a funeral. And that's what some of our signs say, it's funeral in progression. Because unfortunately, when you come to any place where animals are being used for profit, you find dead animals. Because when animals get sick, when they starve to death, there's not the care that it takes or the concern for paying for their vet bills. When it's a matter of profit, the profit margin goes down as soon as you start caring for the animals.
Heel bone, not the crop. Yeah. So Rachel's got a little rut here. This bird, both these birds, are pretty sick, and she has a broken leg apparently. Yeah. So these animals aren't able to walk, and we're going to try and get them the veterinary care they need. We need your support in this, so please keep calling. Please keep sharing this live stream, because the officers just indicated we can't take these animals to the vet, and we need to show the world that we have the right to do this. And the best way to do that is for you to share this live stream, comment, make phone calls, do whatever you can to ensure we can get these animals out, because they're going to die if we don't get them the help they need, and we need your help to make that happen. So.
Sure. Thank you.
Folks, can you help out Anna?
My shoe's in there.
Someone go grab this box. Is everybody with us? Is there anyone remaining on site? Is there anyone remaining on site?
And here are some of the individuals that are being saved today. We have Sanjeev here, we have Sharon here. Do you have anything you want to share? We have 1,000 people watching. You all can help us by calling the Petaluma Police Department. You can help these poor little birds, because if you call, the police department hears that there's so many people who care about animals. Is that right, Sanjeev?
Yes.
And speak louder. Our team is telling us that they can't hear because there's a loud helicopter above us.
Yeah, this poor little guy, his legs are completely paralyzed.
Oh my gosh.
He can't walk, he can't run.
Oh.
I think he was going to die, without food, without getting to the food or water.
Without the urgent care that he received.
Yeah. He's still spunky, he still bites, which is good. Maybe we can save him.
Yeah, I think we can save him, especially with your help.
Okay, so red teams and the yellow teams of dead birds should be in the front. Everyone else behind them, let's just kind of line up. We're going to walk very slowly. Folks, if there's anyone who harasses us, again, we don't respond with words, with actions. We don't yell at anyone. We're just here to give care to the animals, okay? So nothing aggressive at all. We're going to walk very peacefully and calmly out.
Wayne, we have over 1,000 people watching. What do you have to say to them? What can they do?
We need your help. We need you to share this live stream and make that phone call. And ask every single family member to make this phone call, because the police officers here We have a legal opinion saying that we have the right to get these animals out. Hey, what's up?
Over here we have deceased animals that we found. Our investigatory team found inside of this facility, inside of this massive organic farm. They call themselves organic. They call themselves, you know, a place where these animals are allowed to live out their lives in a peaceful, happy way. But that's not true, because no peaceful place should have dead animals. Eva, do you want to share anything? How's she doing?
Let's walk slowly. Don't take your time. Don't trip. We're gonna go this way, right?
Wayne, what's going on here?
We're walking out with a number of the birds that are sick. We've got a bird with a broken leg. We've got birds who are unable to walk, who've been dying of dehydration.
And we have deceased birds too.
Deceased birds, rotting birds who've been left to die in this facility. You can see how dilapidated the conditions are at this farm. This is an Amazon supplier. It's a Safeway supplier. It's regaled in the New York Times, supposedly one of the most humane facilities on the planet. Purdue Farms, which is one of the largest poultry.
Our team is telling us that the helicopter is so loud they can't hear. So can you please speak louder?
The helicopter is loud enough that you can't hear, but we've got the helicopter buzzing over our head.
What is that helicopter? Is that a news?
The helicopter is here apparently for us. And what we would say is the helicopter should be here for the animals, to ensure the animals are given a chance to get out of these hellish conditions. But we're going to walk out slowly together. Again, we're not going to be violent towards any of the workers. If they attack us, apparently there's an altercation with the front. We might see what's happening at the front. But our goal here today is to get these animals to the care that they need. And it's urgent. You know, when we got animals with broken legs, animals with ammonia burn. Sometimes these animals sit in their own feces because they're not able to walk. They're literally eating and feasting on their own feces, and then they defecate and urinate right underneath themselves. And that ammonia from their own feces actually causes burns on their skin. So you're seeing animals with ammonia burns. We're carrying them out in our own hands because we know these filthy, miserable conditions are bad for the animals, they're bad for the planet, and they're bad for us. And it's simply got to stop. And we tried our best to work within the system. This is the reason we're taking direct action today.
And Wayne, when we were in the car, we were reading about what some of these birds go through. Do you want to talk about some of the awful, horrendous diseases?
Yeah, so the mortality, sometimes up to one-fourth or one-third of the animals are not even able to walk by the time they get to a slaughterhouse. And these are all just tiny little baby birds. At 6 weeks old, they're sent to slaughter. And as they're sent to slaughter, they peep. They go beep, beep, beep. They're peeping for their moms because they're desperate, they're scared, they're starving to death. They want someone, including you or I, anyone, to come and help them. But instead of getting help, what they get is brutal abuse. They get left in these horrendous factory farms. They're trampled to death because it's so crowded inside. And they develop conditions like ascites. So if you've never heard of ascites, basically it's like blowing up an animal like a balloon, filling them up with fluid to the point that they're exploding in size and their hearts collapse. Their little hearts collapse because they're eating so much. They're so sick from all of the feces and the filth and the diseases they've been ingesting and all the food they're ingesting. Their little bodies just break down, their hearts collapse, and they fall to the ground. So another thing that often happens is lameness. Because these animals have been genetically engineered to be, yes?
This bird, I guarantee you, would not have survived. She would have been trampled on. She's so tiny, her legs are broken. Rachel, do you think that she would have survived for more than a few days?
No, there's no way she would have been able to get to the food and water. She was so dehydrated, she would not stop drinking. She would not stop drinking the time that I was holding her because she was so dehydrated. There's no way she was able to walk.
So, can I just interrupt real quick? So the officers are holding us for a moment, and we'd ask you to call the Petaluma Police Department, Sonoma County Police Department, and say, tell them we have the right to take these animals out right now, because these animals do need to work.
And folks, we have the legal right in California to rescue these animals. We are doing nothing illegal over here. This is our legal right in California. Every individual has a legal right to go inside of a facility if they know that animals are being criminally abused. And we see deceased animals over here. If this is not criminal animal abuse, what is it? So we need you, we need your support to call the Petaluma Police Department, tell them to help the animal rescuers, to help the people who are trying to take these animals to safety, not the corporations that are abusing them.
Yeah, so the Amazons of the world, the Safeways of the world want to lie to you about where your food's coming from. They don't want people to see the truth about where their chicken's coming from because frankly, it's a threat to you. Everybody in your family who's eating this stuff, I mean, they're eating diseases and suffering and filth and antibiotics. All these horrible things are going to our bodies. They're killing our kids.
Yeah,
and I'm terrified for my own nieces about what's happening in these factory farms. It's got to stop.
Yeah, and Amazon, Wayne, on their website, they say that they're committed to conducting their business in an ethical way. Lawful way. Is this lawful?
So look around at you. This is an Amazon farm. Amazon likes to say that they're treating animals humanely, that the animals are given a good life. They said to the New York Times, we do a wonderful job in animal care, and these animals are living in dilapidated barns where they're starving to death and they're rotting to death by the thousands. I mean, this is the reality of what Amazon is doing to the world. And our ask to Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, the world's richest man, literally the richest man on the planet, is quite simple. That you have so much wealth, so much power. Please give just a little bit of your wealth and power to give something to these poor animals who suffered so much to make you money. You have made so much money off the suffering of these animals. Please, just give them some food and water. Give them a chance to step outside and look at the sky. Give them a chance not to die from a brutal broken leg, starving to death, suffering so gratuitously that even frankly people or farmers look at these things and are horrified. And one of the things to note is even small-time farmers are now against factory farms. And I've told people before, my family raised chickens. Instead of raising 150,000 chickens in industrial sheds, they had 5 to 6 chickens. And that was wrong too. We shouldn't hurt any animal. There's no need for us to hurt any animal. But it's shocking that today, even small farmers, even the small farmers in this nation, are mobilizing against these massive factory farms because they understand there's something wrong about this.
We all have the legal right to be here, and I just want to emphasize this point because for so long in the animal rights movement, animal rescue, exposing what's happening behind these closed doors, has been criminalized. But why is that criminal when these corporations are literally, these corporations can't even live up to their own standards? Cassie, do you want to come talk about? So these farms set these standards for themselves. Amazon voluntarily puts up on their website that they're committed to ethically and lawfully conducting a business, but they can't even meet their own standards.
Can you record this real quick?
Okay,
So, one of these animals has a broken leg and probably hasn't gotten food and water in days. She's going to die unless we get her the fluids right now. And we have fluids right outside. So we're going to take her to the fluids. And again, we have the right to do that.
Just give me a minute, because no one's going to leave this area at the moment.
Okay.
So I'm just doing
Sure.
I'm glad that he's aware of that. Give us a minute. We're doing the best we can here.
I understand. So the contamination that's happening, Steffi, you want to come over here? The contamination that's happening at this facility is already happening. Okay. I mean, this is contamination. So we need yeah, of course. But we need to get these animals in care. And I think the public supports us, the law supports us, and we need to get these animals in care. The fluids literally right around the floor. So we're happy to take them over and get fluids. Okay, so 2 minutes? Okay, we can't wait that long. Sorry. I understand you're in a position, but again, we have our legal rights, and we have a right to exercise
We've been working really well together. I just want to make sure that everything stays so
can you pull this?
So peaceful means giving animals like this care.
Take it out.
They don't end up rotting. Okay, so we'll give you 5 minutes and we have to rush. We have been calling right now saying these animals are dead immediately. We need to get them out, and we have the right to do so.
I think we should get this over.
5 minutes, okay. Set timer for 5 minutes. Okay, so we set a timer for 5 minutes. I understand these officers are probably listening to whatever the decision makers are telling them to do. This is a law that not many people are familiar with, 597E, but it is a law of the state of California. These are duly sworn officers to protect the laws of the state of California. So that means they have to protect our rights and to protect the animals' rights, not to end up in a situation like this. Right, so we're going to give them 5 minutes and we're going to walk out. People have to get beaten up directly. Obviously, we don't want that to happen, but if it happens, it happens. And I'll obviously be the first person to walk out if we have to. But I'll talk to the sergeant again before we do that. But we're caught between a rock and a hard place because again, we got an animal with a broken leg, we got an animal with ascites that need fluids. The fluids are right around this corner. There's no reason those animals shouldn't get the care they deserve because it's literally about 100 feet that way. We told them we'll stay here, so there's no reason we can't go 100 feet that way.
And this bird might die if she doesn't get the urgent care.
If we don't give them care. So, and we have the right to do so.
And we know that there's death at this farm because these police officers, and we want to show you all that this is, the stench. I know that they can smell it too. And I don't think these police officers, they probably care about these animals too. They don't want this to happen.
there are 6 birds who are all sick. There's an animal with a broken leg. There are animals who are suffering from what I think is ascites, which is a metabolic disorder that prevents animals from walking. So
the one with the broken leg.
Okay.
The one that you think is the broken wing.
There are multiple. There's one with a broken wing and a broken leg.
I want you to choose the one that needs the most care right now.
They all need care.
I understand. I want the one that's the most care.
But we have the legal right to do all of them.
I'm trying to help.
Okay. Who can I talk to make a decision? Okay.
So
but this is our right now.
At the very moment, the one that needs care the most, we're giving you whoever's not attending suit wants to bring it down to that day. We're taking it out right now.
Okay. We have the legal right to take them all out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But right now, no one's leaving until
Maybe we should ask other people what they think.
We want to all leave together. All the birds want to leave together. We'll send the one if we have to.
There we go. Let's do that for
but
now.
let's do that one, and then after 5 minutes, 2.5 minutes, we're going to leave.
But they all need help. They all need help.
Can we send them all?
Not right now.
Okay.
Give me the one that's the most injured.
Okay, where's the one with the broken leg?
So someone not in a Tyvek suit has to take it.
Susanna, do you want to take her? And then we can just bring her to the path.
Folks, if you have not already, please call the Petaluma Police Department. Ask them to help the animal rescuers. Ask them to let these birds be taken to urgent medical care that they need. All of these birds need your help. Please call the number in the comments and help these poor birds, like this one who has a broken leg and she needs urgent care right now. I'm gonna follow her and I'm gonna
stay with us.
Okay.
It's only her. Thank you, Susanna. Sir, I don't think you have to be aggressive. And again, we do have the legal right. So, you know, as sworn officers of the state of California, we should have the right to exercise our rights, and the officers should be protecting our rights as well. I appreciate you not making a call here, but that's kind of
trying to protect everyone's rights.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And the animals too?
And the animals too. The animals have rights too.
But I mean, we should, you know, hopefully we live in a world where the police also care about the animals, right, Wayne?
On a clip with an Allen wrench taped to them with black tape over.
So what are we waiting on, ma'am?
So if you're joining us right now, we're waiting because the police is not allowing us to leave, and that's why we need your help. So if you haven't already, please call the Petaluma Police Department.
Yeah, we've got an animal with a broken wing. What else do we have here, folks? I saw some ammonia burns. Okay, so we have an animal with a broken wing who's not... Show what's happening here. Just turn over. So this animal is open mouth breathing. Let's bring this to the officer. Let's bring this to the officer. Officer, can I show you? So this bird is open mouth breathing, which means she's probably lacked food and water for quite some time. She's in a state of respiratory arrest. She also apparently has a broken wing. So all these animals need care immediately. It's not just the one.
Hey, can you?
That's been on call.
Can you stand closer to Wayne?
There's one vet named Kirsten Rosenberg. She's cited in this legal opinion, and she's looked at the footage. She agrees this is criminal animal cruelty. She also agrees that under 597E, we have the right to enter the facility.
Right. I understand what you're saying.
Sure.
But how many vets do you have here on scene?
We have no vets on scene yet.
Okay. Yeah. So
it's vets on call.
On call from where?
From San Luis Obispo.
Okay.
She runs a sanctuary in Central California. And she's also cited this legal opinion.
So you're leaving here birds, right? There's a time limit. Isn't it just as quick of an action you have us get someone here to help them?
An animal control officer is not going to be able to give care to an animal. They have to go to a vet.
Where do you take them from here?
We go to an emergency vet right next door.
Where's the emergency vet?
There's an emergency vet in Berkeley that treats
okay, so you're still
exotic animals.
talking with traffic 2 hours.
45 minutes.
45 minutes from here?
Yeah, 45 to 50 minutes.
In traffic right now, because I was just on 101, and it's not good.
Yeah, I don't know what's looking like south. It took us about an hour to get here.
Okay, yeah, it's not good going south.
So that makes it even more urgent that people leave right now.
Yeah.
Well, it makes it even more urgent that we get people here to help the birds here. Okay.
If that's what we're doing.
That's what we're working on.
Okay.
We're not doing
sounds
nothing
good.
for you.
Okay, thank you. And it's a veterinarian who's coming here?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, so these birds need to see a vet, not an animal control officer. And we've already reported this to animal control. They have not taken action.
And animal control has vets they work with.
Great.
So when he gets here, shoot, wherever it is, I can talk to him.
Okay.
But that's why you're being
okay, we're not going to stay here much longer. We will get arrested if we have to. I'm happy to get arrested.
That's debatable.
Okay.
Right?
No, it's not debatable that I'm happy to. I'm happy to get arrested if it's going to save an animal's life. I will do that. And if you want to arrest me right now, go ahead.
Is that going to slow the process of saving an animal's life?
If the only way for us to get the animal out is to get arrested, we're happy to do that.
No matter what, the animal's going to see that.
Okay. Well, we need to see the event immediately. We have the legal right to do it, and we're going to walk through the line at some point if we don't just get the chance to get the animal. I mean, honestly, the thing they need most urgently is just fluids. Right. So when you have someone who's seriously dehydrated, their life could be saved, whether it's a dog, a cat, or a human being. They just need fluids. Exactly. So they need fluids immediately. We have fluids right around that corner. We could deliver the fluids to these birds right now, pursuant to a legal right that we have.
All right.
Okay. I can show you the statute.
Do you have a search warrant to be here on the property?
I don't, but I do have a statute that says such person is not liable for the entry and may collect a reasonable cost. Not only are we not liable for the entry, we can collect a reasonable cost of our entry when there are animals who are being denied food and water.
That's up to the birds.
Okay, and we're happy to litigate it.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay, but you are responsible for enforcing our rights, and when there's a law that says we're not liable for entry, but we have a right to do so, it says, any case, any domestic animal is impounded without necessary food and water, it is lawful for any person to enter into and upon any pound in which the animal is confined and supply it with necessary food and water, as long as it remains safe.
Which we're here, right? We're offering services. It should take time to get here. Same as you.
We don't have to wait for an officer. It just says any person, not any person with the consent of an officer. It says any person may give this animal food and water. We have the fluids right there. We're exercising our right under 597. I've done the case research on this, and this is a letter that is signed by my collaborator Priya, but it's also been supported by a professor at the University of California, Hastings College of Law. She's the president of the Society of Criminology, so she knows what she's talking about. Sure she does. So we have the legal right to do this. So why can't we exercise our legal rights? Even though it's against our legal rights. Okay, but again, we're not liable for the trespass, and we have the right to do it.
It's debatable in court.
No, it's not, right?
It is debatable in court.
It's not at all. It says any person may enter into and upon any pound in which the animal is confined and supply with necessary food and water. Yeah, no, the statute's very clear. So okay, great. So, how are you doing?
Good.
So I'm showing them the statute again. Some of these officers
I realize that and we want to push the envelope when it comes to this section here.
We just want to help the animals.
I know you realize that. And I know you want to push the envelope. Where we're at this point. Yeah. So, like we talked about before, if we're going to be litigated in court, then we have to do that.
But, all you can wait for the city too to enforce the laws. Yeah, which may well be the case, and that's fine. Or we could have the district attorney and the officers read the statute as it's written right here and say such person is not liable, and it is lawful for any person to enter upon the pound and give the animals food.
Okay, so we're at the point where
she's moving.
We'll conduct our investigation right here.
Wayne, this bird is dying. I think she might.
Yeah. Which Wayne, it's going to include arrest at this point.
Also,
that's where we're at. You wanted to push
the neighbors said this is the first time in 8 years they've seen birds outside.
Okay, I will.
The most important thing is if this animal dies because of the violation of our rights, we will take action, further action as well. But it's not, because this animal is dying right now.
She's
a girl who is crying.
We have animal control right here as well.
Yeah, but you're stopping us from giving them veterinary care.
Sir, she's dying. We need.
Folks, do we all agree these animals deserve care right now? Yeah. Can we all ask the officers kindly to allow us to give this animal fluids? Yeah. Folks, please.
Please, she just wants some.
You've got a young one here who's crying and saying the animal in front is dying.
It's not
Cassie.
okay that enter a dwelling on the attempt to commit theft. Okay, but I understand.
It is lawful.
I understand the section. We've already talked before.
The section is very clear. It says it is lawful. But I don't understand how you define this. The text is what it says. It says it is lawful for any person to enter into and upon any pound. That is the text. This is a law of the state of California, sir. It doesn't have to be litigated. It is clear. The text is absolutely clear. 100% absolutely clear. And you are killing this animal right now, sir. You are killing this animal. These people are crying, begging you to assist this animal. She's dying, sir. Please, please, enforce the law as it's written, sir. It says it is lawful for us to remove this animal right now to give her care.
let them go.
Enforce the law of the state of California.
She's
and
dying.
This girl from
Please
dying.
help her.
That's all we're asking you, to enforce the law as it's
Please.
written.
No, she's
interpretation.
dying.
It says it is lawful.
Please,
please, sir.
Please let us help this animal.
Please let us help them. The only thing she's ever done wrong is she's born, and that is not fair. She deserves to live. She deserves to have a life. Please.
You guys can make it.
Please. Please.
Private. I'm going to talk to you. There's not a lot of trust here because we're just asking you to take an animal to the front lines. We're not willing to do that. If you were willing to do that, then we could talk to you. But these aren't law. This is an law profession. Very distinguished officers.
Please let them go. Please let them go. Please let them go. Please let them go.
Folks, we have.
Please let them go.
I can't even hold back my tears because these police officers are seeing that this poor bird is on the verge of death, and we just need to take her, get medical assistance. Please call the Petaluma Police Department. Ask them to help animal rescuers, not the people who are abusing these animals. Even if animal control comes over here, they're going to euthanize these birds, and we have a chance to save lives. And this is a critical moment in the history of the animal rights movement. We have the chance to do something good for these animals, and we need your help.
Please let them go. Please let them go.
So we don't know how much time we have left, folks. And,
Please let them go.
You can see her eyes are
Please
closed.
let them go.
I mean, she's opened up.
All she wants is water.
I just need some water, which is right around the corner.
Let them go.
We have the right to do it. It says it is lawful. Literally, the statute 597E says it is lawful. The officers are, in my view, violating our rights. They're not just violating animals' rights, they're violating our rights. When it says it is lawful, it means it is lawful. It doesn't mean it is lawful when an officer says it's lawful. It says it means that it is lawful.
And Wayne, this bird is dying. She's slowing down every minute that she's not getting the assistance that she needs.
Please let them go. 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 Please let them go.
But there's not a whole lot else we can do other than just ask you to keep sharing. Please keep watching. We're going to find out what happens.
We have 1,000 people on live stream asking the police officers to let these animals go.
And please just make phone calls to Petaluma County, Petaluma Police Departments in Sonoma County, and let them know you as citizens, especially if you have lawyer friends, go to dxt.io/letter. We're very public about what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Please let them go. Please let them go. Please let them go. Please let them go.
So all we're trying to do is exercise our legal rights again. And just let's show people what's happening here. Just look. I mean, look at this poor bird.
And Wayne, we know people are calling because I'm getting reports from the phone lines are busy. There's thousands of people asking these police officers to let these animals go.
All we're asking for them to do is do the right thing, do the thing that's required of them by law, do the thing that's going to help save these animals, so Dean and Victoria and all the other folks don't have to carry out any more dead animals. We don't have to have this anymore. And one of the things we're trying to do is just say, you know, as powerful as the industry is, as powerful as Amazon and Safeway and Costco are, we need our elected officials to make decisions consistent with their conscience and what the people want. Not what the corporations want, what the people want. And what the people want is for animals like this not to be brutalized, for animals not to be rotting in disease that are being fed to our kids. Right?
And people want to know what's happening behind these places which are kept in the dark.
They're kept in the dark, and when activists have tried to find out what's happening inside, corporations like Whole Foods and Amazon sue people, they charge people, they threaten people, they send millions of dollars donating to elected officials, district attorneys, judges, government officials to ensure that no one finds out what we're showing you today. And so we need you to share this so people can see this, because when these corporations spend their billions of dollars preventing the public from seeing this, the only way for us to overcome that is for the power of the people to rise up against the power of the corporations. They have the money, we have you, we're depending on you. These animals are depending on this. Animals are
Wayne, for people who are just joining, can we tell them what is happening over here?
The officers are preventing us from giving the animals veterinary care. We have an animal who I think is probably on the brink of death. She's going to die at any moment. She has a broken wing. We have fluids just around the corner where we could give this animal fluids, possibly save her life. The officers are not allowing us to do that. We have a legal opinion. Let's get some water. Just use the cap. Use the cap. Let's see if she's willing to drink. You could just put her beak into it. She might too far gone. You can dip her beak into it. Just don't aspirate her. So don't dump it in. You can just put her lower beak into it. She's trying to drink. Priya, are you getting this?
Yes.
Make sure you come around to so people can see it. No, other side. Right here. She's drinking. She's drinking a little, folks. She's drinking a little. So the problem here
can we tap the water with the finger? That way she'll.
Fluids.
We can tap the water with your finger.
If we had the medical tent, we could give her fluids.
No.
It's okay. It's okay. There's water right here, baby. It's okay. Baby. Oh, yeah.
Good girl.
Oh.
She's drinking.
She's drinking.
Good girl. Good girl. She's so weak. It's okay.
And folks, if you're just joining, we are at the edge of the farm. We're trying to leave, but we can't because the police are holding us here. And you can tell that when these animals get the care that they need, that they deserve, they get better really quickly, but they won't get better at places like this where we found so much disease, so much death and so much misery. We have a team of activists out there with the police cars. They're standing next to the police cars. They're also asking the police to do the right thing, to support the rescuers, to let the animals go, to let them go, let them go to get urgent medical care, to get urgent medical assistance, and to be with people who are actually going to care for them, who are going to provide water, who are going to provide fluids. Which is something that this farm doesn't do, right? And this is why we're here. If this place was a sanctuary, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, if they're caring for the animals the way animals actually deserve to be cared for. We got a bird eating over here. You can see how hungry they are.
She's been drinking a lot.
Oh.
She's really dirty with poop, and she wants to clean herself.
I think I see maybe some blood there. There's some ammonia burns.
Is that what that is?
It's possible. So when the animals are sitting in their own feces for hours at a time, it's just like a human being who's sitting in their own urine and feces.
Yeah.
They develop ammonia burns in their body. So they're literally kind of being burned to death by their own feces. And this is kind of what happens in a factory farm.
Rachel, you provided a lot of care to these animals that were coming out of this facility. Do you want to share some of the things that you saw?
Just the screams.
These individuals are between 4 and 6 weeks old. They're still babies. They're still cute. They don't even cluck yet.
Can we have someone assist Jake? Who wants to be Jake's assistant for the day?
I couldn't tell if they were dead
For the
or
rest of the day.
alive.
Anna?
And I just hoped that they were dead.
Yeah, just hold it up.
Well, it just needs to be, pull it that way a bit. That's good.
Broken wings, broken legs. Just
They're saying that we don't have the legal right to do so. We do have the legal right.
exhausted.
I'm not sure why they're not letting us go either.
Hey everybody, if you are watching this right now, I'm going to tell you what's going on.
Folks,
if you're just tuning in, we
steps?
are standing here with our team of rescuers, with our team of animal caretakers, and we're asking the police to let us take these animals to safety, to let us take them to places which actually care about them, to let us provide them urgent medical care, but the police are not allowing us to do that right now. And we're asking you to call the Petaluma Police Department to make the call and to ask them to help animal rescuers, not animal abusing companies like this place which supplies to Amazon. Amazon is a $1 trillion company. With a snap of their finger, they could help all of these animals, but instead they choose to trap them in these facilities. They choose to treat them like property, and the reality is that no matter how much we care about these companies claim to care about these animals, it's just not possible in places where they're being treated like property so that their bodies can be sold to become someone's dinner.
Can I tell people a little bit about the course of the discussions of Whole Foods and Amazon too?
Yeah.
This is not, is it okay she's standing there? You want to up a little? Okay. this is not our first attempt to get accountability and transparency, right? We've been trying for the past 4 years. There have been investigations coming out about Amazon and Whole Foods showing that animals like this are rotting to death, are being cannibalized, are suffering from diseases that can endanger our kids and our families. And when we've tried to have a conversation with Whole Foods and Amazon, not only have they not been willing to have a conversation with us, they have threatened their employees and said, if any of our employees even talk to these activists, they're going to prison. They have sued us. I am currently being sued by Whole Foods for simply saying to them, I'd like to know whether you're supplying from factory farms. They've sued us for that. And now they're even criminally charging activists as well for exercising our legal rights to assist the animals. I'm going to take this call real quick.
Almira, you've contacted pretty much everybody. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so since March, I have been sending letters, emails, phone calls, even office visits to various district attorneys, the California Department of Food and Agriculture, even the Attorney General of the United States. We've contacted Whole Foods, we've contacted Amazon, tried multiple times to have a sit down and have a conversation with these companies. We have provided them with evidence, whistleblower footage that we have shown to them and say, hey, this is happening in these counties, this is happening in California, this is criminal animal cruelty, and you have an obligation to make this stop. And instead of actually doing anything about it, they have ignored us, or worse yet, they have, tried to throw us in prison or sued us, as Wayne was saying earlier. And so when the law fails, when people are refusing to uphold the law, it's time that we take action as well.
Trying to get visuals of the animals in them so people can see
and
where we're
yeah,
going.
this is,
So just get closer together.
This is an animal that we took out of this facility, and I don't know, I don't know how they died, but I know that they probably died a really, really horrible death. And yet, Amazon is claiming that this is humane. If you look at the package in which her body would have been sold, there would have been a smiling chicken on that package, just completely lying to the public, lying to people about how these animals live. And we want to get to a place where no animals ever have to suffer like this. And so we're here asking these officers to just let us remove the animals that we do have who are still alive so that we can get them to veterinary care. And this is the same thing as if you were seeing a dog in a hot car, and it is your right to smash that window to take that dog out of harm's way. Or if there was a burning building and you need to remove someone from there, that's exactly what we're doing here. And I believe that the officers are going to do the right thing at the end of the day, so that we can take these animals and give them the lives that they deserve.
So one quick announcement. Actually, this is for everybody here.
Wait, let's stand next to the animals.
So one quick announcement is National Magazine has already posted an article about this. They've been watching the live stream. So people around the world are watching. So the world is watching. They're seeing what's happening. They know what our legal rights are. So we've got a lot of support. Whatever happens today, just know that everything we've done already has started a national conversation. So thank you all very much for being here.
How are these girls doing?
They're scared. I can feel their hearts. They're just racing. They're so stressed in the whole situation.
She's not going to sleep. She's closing her eyes occasionally.
And we have a bird over here. Is she eating?
Yeah.
All right. And you can see how desperate they are to eat, because inside the barn that you and I were in, Diana, there's no way that all of these birds, not even half of them, can access food and water, right?
Yeah, the ones that we rescued weren't able to get to the water and food. They were pretty much incapacitated. This one is covered in her own excrement. And she's probably has some ammonia burns on the skin.
And so one of the things, these birds are not used to being outside because they've never been outside before. And, this is completely new for them. So it's that much more important that we get these birds to the places where they can feel safe and comfortable, because this is so new to them. They've never been outside, right, Sharon? This girl has never been outside.
She's not going to survive. If they don't let her out, she's going to die. She couldn't stand up on her own legs. It was just awful conditions. What is that? It's heartbreaking.
If you're just tuning in, folks, we are here at the largest organic poultry producer in the nation. We have a team outside which is trying to assist animals, which is trying to take these animals to the safety that they need, but we're being stopped by police officers, as you can see behind me, and we're begging, we're hoping that they're going to do the right thing today. We're hoping that they're going to side with the rescuers, that they're going to help the animals, not the animal abusing corporations. And I'm standing behind a group of people. Sharon over here is helping this animal, Rachel over here, Eva, Diana, Scott, sky. They're all helping these animals. All of them want to take these birds to safety, but we're unable to do so at this time. So we're doing what we can over here. We're trying to help these animals get, you know, she's eating a grape for the first time in her entire life, and she would never be able to do that if it wasn't for the support of people like you, if it wasn't for the support of people like everyone over here who's risking freedom. Frankly, we might be going to jail today, but we don't care because we want to help these animals. We want to give them the safety and love and compassion that they deserve.
So just a quick update, folks. The one bird who had the broken leg is getting care right now. An experienced caretaker is caring for her. They're going to probably try and rush her to the vet if they can. So there is that one silver lining so far.
Wayne, can you tell people why we're waiting here? What do you think is happening?
Well, I understand the officers.
Let's stand by some animals.
This statute. I understand the officers are not familiar with this statute, but the statute again is quite clear that it is lawful for us to enter upon a facility to give the animals food and water, give them care. Again, it's not us, it's not animal rights activists, it's a very distinguished law professor saying, I as a criminal law scholar have examined these cases, this statute, and this evidence, and it is very clear these activists have the right to enter upon the facility to give the animals food and water, so this doesn't happen. We don't
What
want
is
more of
this? What are we seeing
This
here?
is a decaying bird who collapsed on the ground and probably starved to death because she was not given the individualized care every animal deserves.
When we ask the farms, when we ask Amazon, hey, why are these farms marketing themselves as humane or marketing themselves as ethical while these animals are dying, what do they say?
Well, they don't say anything. First of all, they ignore us, they lie, they double down on lying. They say, there's no problems, we send an inspector out and everything's fine. They ignore us, they're not willing to have a conversation with us. You know, honestly, we would have stopped probably campaigning against Whole Foods and Amazon 4 years ago if they were even willing to have a conversation with us. They were willing to have a conversation. Instead, they insulted us, they sued us, they've charged us, they threatened us, they defame us. You know, Amazon and Whole Foods have been sending memorandums all across their entire corporate footprint, telling their customers and citizens of the United States that this is a dangerous organization. They endangered our customers, they endangered citizens. And you look at this dead animal, you look at the care we're giving the animals who are trying to get out, and you ask, what is dangerous here? Are we dangerous with our peace signs and our white flowers in our hands, or is this dangerous? And I think the answer is quite clear. This is what is dangerous. Amazon and Whole Foods and Costco and Purdue, this is a farm owned by one of the largest poultry companies in the world, Purdue Farms. This corporation has a global footprint and donates tens of millions of dollars to politicians to ensure that no one finds out about this. This is the ag-gag laws. This is why they passed laws like the Animal and Price Terrorism Act. And this is why district attorneys and judges are so reluctant to prosecute animal cruelty cases in factory farms, because they have so much money and so much influence. But we have is the power of the people. We have the power of compassion and nonviolence. And we confront the evil and violence of these corporations with our love and compassion. We can change the world. But we need you to help. We need you to help get this animal out, get this poor bird out so next time this doesn't happen. We need your help right now because animals like this poor bird that Diana's holding. You know, Diana, you're a grandmother yourself. You know how hard it is to be denied the access and care of your own mother, and how much your children are desperate when they don't have their moms, and your grandchildren. And all these birds have been denied any sort of paternal or maternal care their entire lives. They've been forced into a crowded shed where they eat their own feces, where they sit on their own feces, and they die of starvation. And these corporations like Amazon have the audacity to call it humane and charge us $10 a pound to buy this suffering and cruelty. So we can stop this though. We can stop this, we will stop this, but we need your help. We absolutely 100% need your help to make sure this doesn't have to happen. And we have politicians supporting us too, so don't think that all politicians are bad. There are politicians working with us saying we should have the right to know. Citizens should be able to see what's happening behind closed doors. That we should not have the ag-gag laws. That taking a photograph is not a crime. That giving urgent animal care to an animal who's suffering is not a crime. Right? These politicians will support us, and we need you to step up to those politicians too, because they're going to help us work with the officers to ensure that these animals are no longer subjected to this torture, because that is what this is. This is torture, this is violence, it is suffering, and it is wrong. Okay,
folks, if you're just tuning in, we are at the largest organic poultry producer in the world. It's raining out here. We're being held by the cops. They won't let us leave because you know, we've been standing out here for a while. We were trying to get these birds
we need to leave.
Urgent care.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
We need to leave. So, like, yeah. Didn't plan for the weather.
White shirt. Hey, do you mind mind just waiting until we can have someone else up here talking.
But these birds need to leave, sir.
You're going to force our hand.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
But we're trying to help these animals.
Okay. Can you have that happen in 5 minutes?
I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
Okay, thank you.
Wayne, these animals need to leave. And why don't we, there's people on live stream that are asking why don't we want to leave why we don't want to leave these animals here if they're getting the care. Why?
So Diana's saying this is a spunky one. She has a little bit of energy, and notwithstanding the fact that I saw some bloody ammonia burns. So again, when you're sitting in your own feces or urine your entire life, when you're collapsed on the ground, you can't stand up, that urine will actually burn your own body. Just stop for a moment, folks, and imagine that. Imagine you're sitting in your own urine and feces to the point that it is burning your own body. You're dying from your own feces and urine's ammonia burns on your own body. That is happening to thousands of animals inside this facility right now. And all we're asking is for this suffering to be stopped, pursuant to our legal rights. Our legal rights. And we need your support to make this happen. But what's happening now is an officer went to chat with somebody else. They're going to come back and chat with me. And then we're going to make a call as to whether we try and walk through this line. I don't know what happens if we all get arrested. Do the birds just land on the ground and starve to death? And I certainly hope the politicians who run the Sonoma County Animal Control Department don't feel that's the right thing to do. To arrest activists who are trying to help an animal who's suffering from ammonia burns get to a vet.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're just joining this live stream, we really need your help. We're standing out here with these birds that we've rescued from horrendous conditions. And if you don't know where we are, we're at the largest organic poultry producer in the nation, and we have investigated this farm today, but also before that, and we found some of the most horrendous things. And one of the things that we found is these barns are so crowded, Wayne, that there's no way that not even half these animals can get the food and water that they need. And we know that because when we see them eating, it's like they're eating for the first time.
Yeah, it's like they're eating and drinking water for the first time because they haven't been able to access. And you've got a broken wing or a broken leg and you're dragging yourself around in your own feces, you're not going to have access to food and water. And these are baby animals. I mean, baby birds in chicken slaughterhouses are slaughtered at 6 weeks of age. 6 weeks, folks. I mean, we've genetically engineered them to grow so fast their little bodies collapse before they can even get to slaughter, which is why 1/3 of the animals at a slaughterhouse are non-ambulatory. Non-ambulatory meaning they cannot walk. So, I mean, this is why they starve to death, because they're so sick, they're so large, they're so heavy, they collapse to the ground, they're dragging themselves around in their own feces and their own urine to try and desperately get to food and water. And at the end, they're all going to be slaughtered. Every one of these animals will meet the slaughterman's blade. And that doesn't have to happen. We can change all of this. What's up?
Some of the things that we found inside of this farm is, I talked about crowding, but then there's diseases. Then, you see animals, you see death, and you don't have to hear it from me. You can see this. You can see these animals right here that some of our activists are holding. They don't even look like animals anymore. I'm going to show you what's happening.
So we have the statutory right to leave. We have animals who are on the brink of death. We've given them some water, but some of these animals need fluids. They're not going to be able to get
stand next to Wayne.
And so all we're asking you to do is help these young ladies,
at least one of them,
ladies as well,
stand next to Wayne so we can do a live stream.
Our statutory rights, our constitutional rights to give care to these animals. I don't think it's that much of an ask.
Another animal control unit showing up right now.
Okay. And we've been waiting for, what, an hour? 45 minutes? I don't even know how long it's been since we've been sitting here. So, I mean, I'm happy to get arrested today if that's what it takes.
Well, you're being detained right now.
Okay.
If you're going to try to walk away, you're going to get arrested.
Okay.
So,
we're being detained.
I'd appreciate it if you just stay here and cooperate with me.
Okay.
Okay. So right now, you're just not free to leave.
Okay. And we'd appreciate it if you gave us the right to exercise our rights under the statute. And again, this is not hypothetical. This is not just my opinion. Right. This is a criminal law scholar's opinion.
I get it.
I can actually call her right now. I'm pretty sure she'd be willing to take the call.
You can call all you want. I'm not going to talk to her.
Okay. Why not?
Why not?
Because I'm not going to.
Why?
Even though she's an expert in this area of criminal law, and even though you're an officer,
I know Lieutenant Mitzi has already sat across the table and talked to you about this, right? So standing out here in the rain right now, I'm not going to sit and talk to you.
Okay. So I don't know how we can get a resolution on our rights.
Well, the resolution is animal control's coming right now. Yeah. We're going to have them take possession of all the chickens.
No,
that's not gonna happen.
No.
That's not going to happen. You're going to have to arrest all of us. Okay.
Well,
so folks, I think I'm starting to lean towards saying we just walk out, and if they want to arrest us now, they can arrest us. You know, the national media is already watching this, so it's on your conscience if an animal dies because of your actions.
Please.
We have the legal right to do this. You know we have the legal right to do this as an individual. You can make the decision. You're a lieutenant. I see your badge number. You can make the call to enforce our rights and give the animals the care they deserve.
Please.
So we're not going to give you a lot more
I am going to
time.
give them the care by turning them over to animal control.
Animal control does
that's
not
what
care
the
for these
statute says.
animals.
And animal control is ignored us every single time. These animals will die.
And
if they
as
don't.
I
Wayne, what will happen to
as I
animals if we...
explained
They will be sent back to the slaughterhouse, or they will be euthanized before they get the care they deserve.
As I
We're not
explained
asking you to
earlier-
spend the money. We're going to spend the money to make sure these animals are cared for. But we have the legal right. Sorry, go ahead, sir.
Okay. As I explained earlier, animal control has vets that they work with.
Yeah. Okay. And animal control has never responded to a single inquiry we've made about criminal animal cruelty.
I'm turning
at factory farms
the
in state of
birds over
California.
to them so that now they have a right. They have to do something with the birds. They have to get them medical emergency, right?
They
have
will
to
not.
give them something.
They will not.
That's how it works.
That's not how it works. How it works is what's stated by the laws of the state of California, which indicates we have the right to enter. It says it is lawful.
So you have vets right here parked on the street ready for these birds?
We could call a vet right now. We have a vet that's very close to
How many chickens do you have?
We have, I don't know how many chickens we have, but we could certainly take an animal to the vet, and sitting here is not helping the animal
5,
at all.
I think.
Okay. That's the way it's going to go right now.
Who's going to make the decision here? Is it you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're making the decision to violate our rights and subject these animals to additional animal cruelty.
Right now you're trespassing.
Okay, but we're not, because it says
I
it is
understand.
lawful under the section
I understand.
597E of the California Penal Code.
I understand
so
what
it's
you're
not
saying.
criminal trespass.
But you're trespassing.
No.
Eva, can you
You're
get
not.
closer?
Like I said
So-
earlier, that's debatable.
It's not debatable because the statute says it is lawful.
Okay.
It says very clearly it is lawful. It doesn't say it is
Hey, do you
lawful.
guys mind giving us like a 5-foot little
Let's
barrier here?
back
We'd
up.
really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey,
ma'am, I'm talking to you too.
Sir,
We could certainly call a vet over right now.
We can arrange for that.
So if we call a vet over right now, can we bring the animal to the vet right now?
Animal control's here.
But they don't
They don't
care
have a
about
vet.
these animals.
Well, it's the way it goes.
Okay.
Could I just take this bird myself? Could I just take...
No, not right now.
So you're not going to let even this single bird...
I let a single bird go already.
So why not all of
Right?
them?
Because I was waiting for animal control. We just got another animal control here, and they're going to
That
take
doesn't
the
look
birds.
like animal control. That looks like a paddy wagon you're sending...
That is not animal control. You are absolutely
You're
correct.
sending folks to jail for helping animals, pursuant to our statutory rights.
I think people,
which is
I
not,
think
not the
people
right
go
thing
to
to
jail
do.
for breaking the law, which would be trespassing.
But we're
And
helping
that's not what's happening here.
animals.
I've showed you so many times, officer. I mean, why aren't you exercising
the court
your
will figure it out.
obligations under the
court will
state,
figure it out.
the laws of the state of California? It says it is lawful. It doesn't say it is lawful if an officer says it's lawful. It says it is lawful. Just like the First Amendment says we have the right to free speech. It does not matter if an officer says we do or not. We have that right. Similarly, if the statute says it is lawful to give the animals food and water, that means it is lawful.
And that's what
It
I'm
doesn't
doing.
matter what animal control says. It doesn't matter what the district attorney says.
what they do.
No, it doesn't matter, because the state of California laws are determined by the legislature of the state of California. And when the legislature of the state of California says it is lawful to give the animals food and water, if they're denied food and water, it is lawful. So when you say it is trespass, you're saying that's something that is not correct pursuant to the laws of the state of California. I've been a law professor and a lawyer for almost 20 years. I've been a legal scholar for 20 years. This is as clear as it gets, sir. This is as clear as it gets. It says it is lawful. That's it.
And that's what the courts will figure out.
Okay? But it's your call, ultimately.
Right, it is.
It is your call as to whether you're going to comply with the law or not. We're asking you to
And
comply
I
with the
will
law.
comply with the law.
Not when it says it is lawful and you're not allowing us to exercise our
It
rights.
is trespassing.
It does not.
The court will figure it out.
No, that's not correct.
You can see
That's not correct. It says it is lawful. It does not say it is lawful. The court says it does not say it is lawful. The lieutenant says it says it is lawful. So folks, we need your help. So all I can do is make phone calls. You know, if you have connections in Sonoma County, certainly reach out to them, because the officers are not willing to allow us to exercise our rights.
Hey, can you guys do us a favor and scoot back a few feet? Thank you.
You think we should what? Yeah, why don't you try talking? Why don't you talk to them? Almir, do you want to take this? Bring your bird up. Do you want to come over with Diana?
The bird is awake. It's looking at me.
Yeah, but do you think she deserves to be
Serena, bring your bird up.
She's the sickest.
This is the sickest bird right here.
She's dying right
It
now.
is for you to decide. You just said you're the decision maker. Okay.
All the birds are going to go, just like I said.
If you were genuinely interested in giving these animals care, they'd be getting care right now. If you were genuinely interested in allowing us to exercise our rights, you'd allow us to exercise our rights right now. Because this is a violation of our rights. And you as officers of the state of California have an obligation to defend our rights, to protect and serve, not violate.
How many times have we contacted?
I have sent letters since March, phone calls. We've even visited their offices of animal control, of your sheriff's department, of the DA, of the police department. Nobody has done anything. Nobody has done anything to help these animals, and they're dying. If these were dogs, what would you do? What would you do if these were dogs?
It's not an argument. It just says that it's lawful.
But, and it, you know what? It's like, it's fun to stand here in the rain and
do all this stuff, but these animals are literally dying. So we can fight it out in courts, and we're happy to be arrested, but these animals need to go first. They need to go first. We can let them go. We can let them go.
Just because it's not the way you want it done.
What do you think about them? How do you think they want it done? They are less than like maybe 5 weeks old, and they're like 1 week away from being packed onto a slaughterhouse truck and driven to their deaths, and they need to leave.
So the reality is we wouldn't be out here if animal care and control actually helped these animals. We don't want to be out here. It's a Saturday morning, it's a Saturday afternoon. We want to be hanging out with our friends. We want to be doing what people are doing. We're here because we know that we have to be out here. We're here because every single other method that we have tried, we've sit down with law enforcement, even these gentlemen acknowledge that. We've sat down, we've tried to call animal care and control, we've asked them to look at the abuse that we found. We have deceased animals here, and time again, all of this has been
please step back?
So we would not be over here if we didn't have a choice to do so. But this is our last resort. This is literally our last resort. And we did what we said we would do. We set up a medical triage unit in this facility. We took birds like her out. We gave her water for the first time. And I know that these police officers, if they weren't protecting animal abusing industries, that they would do the same thing. That they would help dogs, just like Almira said. What would you do if she was a dog? I know that these people would help them. But today, that's not what they're doing.
So just so everyone knows, there's a cop coming over. I can see them right now with a bunch of wrist cuffs. So it looks like they're going to threaten to arrest us and possibly arrest us for exercising our legal rights and trying to give care to these animals, which is a horrendous injustice. And I'm thinking we just try and walk out with the birds.
There's 1,000 people watching. 1,000 people watching this right now.
So we're not going to get arrested and let these animals die. Yes.
You already signed that. So let that process happen.
Okay, that's not going to happen the way you guys want it to. If you guys hurt an animal, that's going to go very badly for everybody, especially the animal. If you hurt an animal, that's going to be on the conscience of the sheriff and Senator County. Then why don't we give these animals some care? Let's take them to that right now.
That decision is well done.
So just show people the cuffs they have. So they have all these plastic cuffs. These are cuffs. They're planning to cuff everyone here for exercising our statutory rights. They have not listened to a word I've said this entire time, frankly. The statute says very clearly it is lawful, it is lawful, it is lawful to
15 police cars out here.
There's so many police officers here to defend,
but they don't need to be.
Corporate factory farms, defending the right of the people.
Wait, can you ask people on live stream to share and let them know what's going on? Give people an update.
Share this live stream right now. Make sure you reach out to any contacts you have, because activists are about to be arrested for giving care to the animals, and we don't know what's going to happen to the animals. The worst thing is these animals could collapse on the ground and starve to death where we stand after we're arrested, because these officers are not willing to allow us to exercise our rights. It's not asking that much. You know, we have rights in the state, the laws of the state of California. We want to exercise those rights. That's all we're asking.
If every single police officer here used their vehicles and their power and their skill, you could save all of these animals. You could literally be the people that saves thousands of lives, and right now you are the people who are sentencing these animals to death, and they don't want to die.
We also
They're
have many
literally
people in the
babies.
county that need our emergency assistance right now, but we're here right now.
But why are you here?
They're going to die. We
I
don't
mean, why
care
do you
about
have to
going
be
to
here?
jail.
Multitudes
We don't care.
individuals
But you
here
need to let these animals go first.
It's not trespass. It says it is
This
lawful.
is not what you signed up for.
You know, officers should not instruct the public
This is not what you
incorrectly about the laws of the state of California.
That's my understanding.
Yeah,
So
but it's not
that's
trespass. It says clearly it is lawful.
Let us go and we will come back. Could you let them go? Could you slit her throat right now? This little baby bird that's gonna die. Let us take them. Their lip is still peeping. That is so
Arrest
young.
me, I don't care. Just take her to the vet.
Hey, can you guys take a couple steps that way, please? Thank you.
So what's the plan, sir?
The plan is you take a couple steps that way.
Can you video for me? What's the plan, sir? What do you have these cuffs for?
Can you go stand next to me?
So they're not willing to answer the question. You know, we're not getting an opportunity to exercise our right to give the care to the animals. They're blocking us from going to just around the corner where we have fluids and animal care center ready. We have animals who are dying, barely even able to lift their heads up. Serena has an animal who has a broken wing. We have people crying here, people weeping, people begging the officers to do the right thing. But unfortunately, the way the world works today, big factory farms have all the power and the authority. They can torture animals pretty much with impunity. And when activists do... Okay? Pain medication? Yeah. So that's an animal who has ammonia burns on her body.
Can you go stand next to them?
Sorry. We can ask. We've been asking the officers to date and for the past 45 minutes, and they haven't been able to.
If you're just tuning in, please share this video. All of us are over here. We're on the verge of tears. Some of us are crying because we just want to help these animals. We want to take them to care, but the police are not allowing us to do that. They're ready to arrest us, and all we want to do is help the animals, and we need your help. If they arrest us, we don't even know what's going to happen to these poor animals. For the first time in their lives, they experienced being held, being cared for, someone offering them food and water for the first time. But if we have to let them go, I guarantee you that's not what's going to happen to them.
And let me just be clear what happened today. From what I understand, a number of activists, including Paul outside, were assaulted by the farmers. So the farmers have been torturing the animals, neglecting them, letting them starve to death. They assaulted our activists, beat them up, and now we're the ones who are being threatened with jail time and arrest. I mean, how does that make any sense, folks? And this is not the way the laws of the land should be enforced, and this is not the way the laws of the land are written. It is very, very clear. It says it is lawful. And when it says it is lawful, it means it is lawful. 3 words could not be more clear in the English language than it is lawful. And when it says it is lawful, it means it is lawful for us to give care to animals like her. So why don't we just go back and take it to the field?
Hey, Wayne.
Hey, you guys need to stay here.
Thank you.
Okay, well, you can just hold it up.
No, you're not staying here.
Hold it up and show people the scale of this facility. Just how massive this facility is, which is described as a free-range, organic, Petaluma poultry farm. And also, let me just add that when activists have tried to stand outside the slaughterhouses and farms, just peacefully documenting on the public road, what they've done is they've diverted the trucks everywhere. They don't even come to the slaughterhouse. They don't come to the farm because they know people will see things like this. And who wants to see this? Frankly, even if you eat meat, who would want to see this? Who would want to eat this?
You can't even tell.
This is disturbing, folks. This is like a horror movie come to life.
Let's show people.
No one wants to see this. No one wants to see this. And these companies need to prevent you from seeing it, which is why they hire politicians, why they hire private security, why they send their slaughterhouse trucks to all sorts of places other than the slaughterhouse when they're activists outside of the camera. They're terrified by the camera. They're terrified that you will click the share button and let other people see what I am showing you right now, which means you need to click the share button so people will see what is happening here right now.
I cannot describe to you the horrible stench when you stand next to this poor bird. It's just horrible. And just imagine that once she was a living being. And when these police officers are saying that we need to return the animals to animal care and control, essentially they're saying that they're okay with this happening to the birds. And that's not the world that we want to create. We want to create a world. We want to create a world where all animals are going to be safe and happy and free. And this is not acceptable. Thank you all so much for joining us live here today. We are at the largest organic poultry producer in the world. We are in the nation, I'm sorry. We're trying to get these animals behind us to safety, but we're unable to do that because the police are stopping us. And I'm getting reports that we are having an activist arrest. Getting activists arrested right now, or there's an activist who is being arrested right now. I'm hearing that it's Shiki. How do you know? She's right there. Okay, so they've arrested an activist. I can't see, but this is what I'm hearing from other people. They're arresting activists. Okay, I can see her now. I don't know if you all are able to see, but there's multiple activists being arrested as we speak. Oh my God. Wayne, we see activists getting arrested right now. Why do you think they're being arrested?
They're being arrested because the officers aren't complying with the law.
Can you please step back a couple feet, like where you were before? Thank you.
And we've been very clear. We've been very clear with them, and instead of enforcing the laws,
thank you.
Instead of enforcing the laws of the state of California, they're arresting people who are trying to care for sick and injured animals. They're going to send these animals to slaughter and death. You know, I'm tempted to say we just walk through.
Yeah.
No.
Not a good idea, Wayne.
I mean, we have the right.
We want to give these animals the care that they need.
Right now, you are not free to lead. You cannot.
What about the animals, though? What about the animals?
There's
1,000 people watching.
You cannot detain people unless, if it's very clear that we're exercising our legal rights.
Right now,
an officer does not have reasonable suspicion.
What is the reasonable
suspicion? When it says it is lawful.
Where are you standing?
We're standing on property that says by the California Penal Code Section 597
You're not
we have the right to stand on. It is lawful. So there's no reasonable suspicion for a crime. We do not have an obligation to educate the officers of Sonoma County about the laws of the state of California.
Wayne, let's go.
We're trying to figure it all out too.
No, you've been telling us that for the last hour.
Okay.
But what about the animals? We want to help the animals.
What do you guys think? Should we just walk through?
Let's.
No,
because I kind of feel like
you guys have all been advised that you're not free to leave. You cannot walk through.
We don't want to beat you up.
We're not trying to beat you up.
We have a right under California Penal Code Section 597 to be here.
It has nothing to do with that. I have a job to do.
I don't want to be here, but I'm here because of these animals.
It's your obligation.
And I'm here because of
all of it. Not to violate the rights.
Please let us help these animals.
You do not have the right to walk through or pass.
We do have the
We
right
have the legal right to do so.
You cannot state. Are you a sworn officer of the state of California? Do you want to read the laws of the state of California, sir? Would you like to read the laws of the state?
Why don't you just read it, Wayne? Let's read it.
Happily read the laws of the state of California.
Can you stand back so I can?
California Penal Code Section 597A says very clearly, in case any domestic animal continues to be without necessary food and water for more than 12 consecutive hours, it is lawful. It is lawful. It is lawful for any person, as may be deemed necessary, to enter into and upon any pound in which the animal is confined and supply it with necessary food and water. Such person is not liable for the entry and may collect the reasonable cost of the food and water.
Were you here 12
so
hours
not
ago?
Only we were.
Yes, we
there
were.
Inspectors here 12 hours ago, about 12 hours ago, with undercover cameras, secret cameras showing the animals were being denied food and water were collapsed on the ground. So this is very clear. We have the photos, we have all the evidence. We've delivered them to Sonoma County. So, sir, I just read to you the laws of the state of California. How do you feel about that as an officer who's sworn to protect and serve and defend the laws of the state of California? So, what do you guys think? Can we walk through and exercise our rights?
What you need to do is stay put where you're at.
No.
When an officer makes an unlawful command, sir,
You're detained, you're not free to leave.
When an officer makes an unlawful command, we can continue exercising our constitutional rights. It is your decision whether you want to continue infringing on our rights or whether you allow us to exercise our rights pursuant to the laws of the state of California. So folks, what do you think we should start going?
Hey Wayne. Hey Wayne. I think it's more likely that some chickens are going to get hurt.
We should can you draft a caption and send it to him? Just give an update.
If the chickens are hurt, it'll be on your conscience because we're giving them care. If you stop them, it is on you.
You've been advised that you're not free to leave. If you try
unlawfully.
it's likely that chickens
we have been unlawfully advised.
What they already are.
Yeah,
so you're threatening to hurt the chickens? 1,000 people are watching. You're threatening to hurt the chickens?
So you can tell us we don't have the right to breathe. It doesn't mean it's true, right? You can tell us we don't have the right to have our hearts beat. That doesn't make it true. But you haven't. What you have told us is we don't have the right to be here and that it's trespass, which according to the laws of the state of California, which I've showed you.
So message Sam. Wayne, you're going to have to say I might get arrested. You need to take care of dogs.
Don't explain the legalities of it all, yes.
If there's reasonable suspicion for a crime having been committed, they can actually detain you pretty much indefinitely. The problem is here, there is no reasonable suspicion, and there's certainly no probable cause, and yet they're still arresting people. Which is a violation of not just the animal cruelty code, not just 597E, that is a violation of our constitutional rights. That is a violation of our constitutional rights. When we are detained and arrested when there's no reasonable suspicion or probable cause for a crime having been committed.
Wayne, can you tell people on live stream what's happening and how they can help?
Well, we're being threatened with arrest. We have a line of officers here who's preventing us from giving care to these animals. We have animals with broken wings, animals whose bodies are burned, animals who have no access to food and water. We have a legal opinion from a criminal law scholar. It's not someone who's a neophyte, it's someone who is the president of the Society of Criminology. She's a professor at UC Hastings who knows these areas of law very well. These officers have not given us any response as to why we cannot exercise our rights, and now they're threatening to arrest, and we're seeing that they are arresting some people for exercising their constitutional rights.
So activists are being arrested outside of the farm. We see that they're being arrested. There's over a dozen police cars here, folks. There's a helicopter on top of us.
There's a helicopter over us defending a factory farm and Amazon and Whole Foods rather than fighting for the people and protecting our rights. Our rights. These are our rights.
Are you guys just like stalling us?
If they're getting arrested, it's not getting arrested. So, there's just no way around.
What's that? There's like 18 of you guys talking right now.
There's a process that has to happen, and it has to be ordered.
But you've been saying that to us for the last hour.
The process just started.
The process is unlawful.
Okay. And you'll have your chance to argue that. Like I said, here's not the place to do it.
Okay. But you also have the right.
Did you hear what I just said?
You have the right as
it.
officers. In fact, you have a duty as officers to enforce the laws of the state of California rather than violate them. And we're asking you to do that.
Okay. And you've been told you've been told you're not free to leave.
Okay. You yourself said it's a legal opinion. It's not.
It's a legal opinion from a criminal law scholar who is reading the law as it's written. No, it's not. It's not opinion when it's written here. Yeah. But the law.
No, it literally says in the law.
It says it is lawful.
But we want to take these. Why would we leave these birds in a place where can I see some of the dying birds? Where they're going to be killed like this? Why would I leave them there? Do you want these birds to end up like that?
These animals are bonding with us already.
Why would we leave them in a place which is going to do that to them? Please show some compassion. But do you want to help these animals, right? Let us go. We're going to take these animals to the vet.
Yeah.
Folks, we need your help in sharing this live stream. If you haven't already, share this in groups. Share this with your friends and family. Share this with people who consume some of these animals. Show them what's happening behind these farms.
Just walk through.
I mean, I think we should try to get the birds out.
Dude, what do we think? Does anyone disagree?
Do not take bad advice from him. You do not.
I'm not giving any advice.
Cannot leave. You're
I'm asking
detained.
people what
You
they want to
cannot
do.
walk past this.
Why don't you continue? You can continue talking.
One quick point, folks. One quick point, please.
We want to save
I've been quiet. You want to listen? Please. You are being detained, okay, lawfully in our eyes. Hold on.
Yep.
Okay, so any further disruption and prevention of us doing our job is going to be another charge.
So you're going to threaten us with another felony for exercising our rights.
Make your choice.
You're threatening us with another felony for exercising our rights, sir.
I thought you knew the law. I have to
Resisting arrest can be a misdemeanor or a felony. in the state of California, and I do know the law.
You should know the elements of that crime.
I do know the elements of that crime, sir.
And you know it's not a felony.
So what do you guys want to do?
I want to try
Save the birds.
I want to try and save as many birds as we can.
Save the birds.
You're not free to leave.
I think these officers are not going to help these birds. That's what I think.
I'm not a vet.
And we want to show the world. Yeah,
I mean,
we're
all
not.
you have to do is comply with the laws of the state of California and allow us to take the bird. We're not asking you to take the bird. We're asking you to comply with the laws of the state of California. I don't know how unambiguous it can be when it says it is lawful.
Can you read 602 for us too?
I can read 602, but 602 is trumped by 597E. When it says expressly, there's a doctrine of law that the specific trumps the general.
Wait, we should just go there. We should just go.
I understand.
Let's go. What do you think? You should tell me what you think. What you
They're not going to do anything. They're just saying we're detained. So, again, technically, when an officer believes there's reasonable suspicion, they can detain you. But if they unlawfully detain you, then that is a violation of your constitutional rights. And it is a violation of the constitutional rights when the statute says it is lawful. So there's also a doctrine of law. Provision 602 of the Penal Code is about trespassing, that you're not allowed to walk on other people's property. The right 602 is the law of the state of California. However, there's also a doctrine of law that says the specific trumps the general. If there's a general provision that says you're not allowed to walk on someone's property, and there's a specific provision that says if someone is starving their animals, you are allowed to walk on their property, then the specific trumps the general. That is a basic principle of statutory interpretation you learn in your first year of law school. And we're trying to instruct the officers on this provision of the California law and on this principle of statutory interpretation that says the specific trumps the general. So this to me is very clear. When it says it is lawful, am I right that when it says it is lawful, it means it is lawful?
Yes.
It is lawful, it means it is lawful.
1185 have been called in from property owners.
We are the ones committing a crime, and we're not doing that, but these animals are certainly not. And you can arrest us, and it's okay, but they're because so what we're going to do is we can walk there, give animals their first, they're ready, give them the food they need, I promise you that. We'll be there, you can arrest us, but we need to take the birds down.
So who's making the call here?
They admitted committed.
Yeah. None of you?
All of it.
All of you? No one's a particular decision maker?
Hey.
So you can detain us out there. We're going to give the animals to them.
But
you're trying to address everyone about their rights here. You guys probably know that you have the right to take care of yourself. You don't need to listen to Wayne. Wayne seems like a smart guy, but I guarantee you not everyone here or anyone here knows everything about the law or can advise you perfectly about the law. So it's on each one of you what you do, and it doesn't matter if you misunderstand the law. If you break it, we're forced in certain situations.
Well, then you should be
forced. Don't make us risk hurting any chickens. You don't want any cameras broken.
You're hurting chickens now, sir!
You're hurting the chickens! You're hurting the chickens!
You have like lying to our face, and that's not okay. You're hurting the chickens right now, sir. You're hurting the chickens right now. I wouldn't yell if you allowed us to exercise our rights and you did the right thing. We're not asking you to do anything. We're not asking you to offer a dime to the care of these animals. We're asking you to give us the rights that we have. Give us the rights that we have. And when it says it is lawful, respect the laws of the state of California.
Can you guys take a couple steps that way for me again? You kind of.
What do we think of Elmira's plan? What do we think of her plan?
It's not gonna happen.
Can we?
It's not gonna happen.
Why not?
Every time I try and talk, Wayne starts yelling. It's not even peaceful.
Because you don't want to help the animals. That's why.
Because I have a job, and I'm told to listen to my supervisor.
I give you my word that we're not going to run. We're not going to run away. All of us are very willing to be arrested, but what we're not willing to do is have these birds down. And they're the ones that have committed no crime at all. Regardless of what you think of this, they need to leave. So we just watch the edge.
So let's walk out together.
Why can't you escort them out with the birds? We'll all stay here, just take the birds out.
So the other option would be the animal caretakers.
And you have
They
the
can-
right to detain us over there if you'd like.
Wait.
The animal caretakers, Steven, listen to me. The animal caretakers can come here. They can take the birds if you let them walk out, and then we'll stay here.
Animal caretakers will end up coming out here.
Not
you guys
not
aren't going
animal
nuts.
control, who I've called and emailed since March, and who have done nothing. Our animal caretakers, who have fluids, you can take them to an event, we're going to go to a...
Why not?
But you said you don't want to hurt the birds. Those are the only option to not hurt these birds is for them to get out to you. This isn't an argument. Like, you don't want these animals to die, right? You just said that. You said that. There's 1,000 people are watching. No, I don't think you guys are bad people. But explain, what is it to explain? How this is somehow is going to be okay to kill these animals? Because I don't think you can. I just want to reiterate, these animals have been, they were literally born, they're like 4 weeks old. They're babies. Some of them still have like yellow feathers on them, they're peeping. You have a placement for them. Technically, under that law, you can charge the phone for all the expenses that we incurred. Sure, but I'm just saying, this is extremely reasonable for asking us to take 5 birds to the vet.
So just to give you guys a sense of where we can stand from a legal perspective, they're claiming we're detained based on reasonable suspicion of a crime being committed. If we were to walk through, they could charge us with resisting arrest. It's going to be a misdemeanor. It can also be a felony, depending on how it's done. If you don't do it violently, you don't do it forcefully, it's usually a misdemeanor. So if we were to walk through, it does open you up to prosecution for other offenses. Again, if the principal detention itself was unlawful, then we have a very strong constitutional grounds for striking all of this. And frankly, pursuing the Sonoma County Police Department. If we think we can win on that. But that depends on a jury. That depends on a jury deciding in our favor and saying that 597E says that we have the right to enter the facility. It says it is lawful, and thus we have the right to enter the facility, and they do not have the right to detain us. So that's kind of where we stand. Everyone here obviously should and can make their own decision. I'm going to say that at some point, you probably should just walk out, because I don't even know if the girl that's here is having... Is she still alive?
There's 1,400 people watching on live stream just on our page. There's thousands of other people watching everywhere else, and they're gonna see the Sonoma County Police Department not help these birds. Do you want to help this bird? You can let us go. You can you can even arrest us. Just at least let them get to the care and safety. So they're gonna be. So you're saying that they're gonna be taken. They're gonna be allowed to go to our animal caretakers. Why not?
Because you know
every time that I talk with someone, we don't get anywhere.
Because you don't want to help these animals, but you can.
Well, you said I think. We know how to rehabilitate and we have experience in this, and we can give them a life, a happy life, and they've already served a bond with us. And these animal control people see them as property. They won't be doing it for the outcome. If you just let me take these birds out, I'll come back and be arrested. Just let us bring them to our office.
What have I ever said?
Can you do me a favor and step back? Thank you. Can you do an actual step?
There's so much stuff coming from. I can tell you about the
I don't think she would. Want me to know.
I don't think she cares. Do you care, Diana? She doesn't care at all. She's asking you as a grandmother who's cared for her daughter, cares for grandchildren right now, to give this poor animal a chance at life. And you're saying no. That's kind of where we are right now. And that is exactly where we are right now.
Everybody, if you haven't already, please share this live stream. Please ask everyone to continue. I know some of you are reporting that the phone lines are shut down, but if you are able to, try to call again, and please let these police officers know that all of us over here, we're just trying to uphold the law. We're trying to do what's right. Amira, do you have anything to say?
I mean, if this doesn't give you a real clear impression of what side of history you want to be on, like, I don't know what will. Right now, there are, I don't know, a dozen men who are literally preventing us from saving 5 lives. 5 lives, and they are standing in the way of these animals experiencing freedom for the first time. I don't care about being arrested. That was not my intention today, and I don't think it was Eva's intention either, but she's holding someone, and their whole life is being held hostage by these officers. And so ask yourself, like, what side do you want to be on? If we had 10,000 people right here, this would not be an issue. And so every single day we're going to be doing larger actions, and we need you to join us. If we are arrested today, this will certainly not be our last action, and we will be back, but we need you to join us so that we can save more lives.
Folks, look at how many police officers are here.
Going to be arrested right here. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll shut off our cameras. You don't want to go for resisting arrest, right? Remember your peace.